Buddies, my duty here is to give practical answers to your requests, and your own is to give me a token of appreciation by liking, sharing, commenting, and engaging on my videos. Like, seriously, my DM is full with messages from you guys requesting for this particular recipe, and here we are to make these snail donuts. So relax and enjoy this. So for today also, I decided to use cups and spoon because of most of you that have been complaining of using scale. So here I measured 2 leveled cups of all-purpose flour. I measured 1 teaspoon of salt, 1.5 tablespoon of sugar, and half tablespoon of instant dry yeast. Then I added a little dash of egg yellow and about 1/8 teaspoon of mixed spice. Then I went in with first half cup of water. Okay, room temperature water, not hot, not lukewarm, not cold, just normal water. Okay, after adding that, I went in with extra 2 tablespoons of water. Okay, now after adding that, I then combined everything. Then I added 1 tablespoon of margarine. Okay, and after adding the 1 tablespoon of margarine, I added a little bit, maybe up to like 1 teaspoon of my butter flavor. Then I went ahead and combined everything just as you see me do in this video. Now after combining it, I discovered that I needed to add a little bit more water. Then I added extra 1 tablespoon of water. Then I went ahead, transferred this on my work surface, floured my work surface a little bit, and started kneading. I employed all my kneading processes in this video because you want this dough to be very stretchy, you want this dough to be very soft, you want this dough to be bouncy, you want this dough to attain window pane. Okay, that is the secret of making a perfect donut. So you saw the first time I had to knead the dough with my palms, then I use my rolling pin to pound the dough, then I also use my rolling pin to roll out the dough. These are the processes the machine would have done or made it easier, but because we're not using machine, these are the processes you have to employ to get that type of dough that the machine will also give you. Okay, so once you have achieved this smoothness and this bouncy dough, just as you see in this video, you wrap it up and let it sit for like up to 25 to 30 minutes. After the 30 minutes, then you have this type. You can see that the dough has increased in size and is bouncy the more. Now I divided this dough into 4 parts. Okay, I didn't use scale because of you people. I didn't use scale. So after that, I covered the rest and kept them aside, then took out one. You see how I've rolled this one out, and you are seeing the way I'm molding it up. This is exactly what you have to do. Okay, now after rolling it, I have to make sure that I tuck in all the edges and then roll it a little bit more and fold it. Now when you are folding, please make sure that the last fold goes under and pinch it. Make sure that you pinch it, because if you don't pinch it well, by the time it proves, it might lose out. Also, you might apply a little bit of water at that point so that it will not lose out. It's going to stick to the dough. Now if you're making this in large quantity, you wouldn't have that time to be rolling out and rolling up. You can use this second method of just using your hand to do everything, then roll it up. Make sure you tuck it in and make sure you pinch it very, very well. Then use your hand a little bit on it and flatten it down. Then sprinkle a little bit of flour on your non-stick paper and then place it on it. This particular one, I just use this one to just teach you people something. In case those that want to do a different style of breading, have to bread a dough just as you see me do like this. You see, you just bread it. Now once you are done with your dough, you cover them, understand, cover them and let them proof up to 40 to 50 minutes or even up to 1 hour. Like my own, I left it for 1 hour. So due to the fact that you needed to deep fry this, you need a very enough oil in your pot, and I have little oil, so I use my small pot. So this my small pot can only contain one dough at a time, so I had no choice. Another thing you should bear in mind that is that Your oil should not be too hot, should never be too hot. You need your oil to be just sizzling. You may not even you will not even see it sizzling that much, just a little. Then if your oil is too hot, make sure you keep on reducing the heat to low to medium heat. Okay, medium low to low heat. You don't need to be too high, and let it fry gradually, 2 minutes to 3 minutes on each side. Once the first side, make sure you monitor it. If the first side, the one that is facing the oil, browns, then you turn it over. You must allow it to brown on the first before you turn it over for the underside to brown. Now, before you fry your second batch, make sure you switch off the heat or take down your oil. Let the oil cool down a bit. You can place the bottom of your pot or your saucepan in a bowl of water so that it will cool down the oil quickly before you go on to fry the second batch. Okay, and at the end of the day, you're going to get something beautiful like this. Don't you love this? It's very soft and it's very fluffy. Now you can go ahead and coat with your milk, with your sugar, or anything or with your chocolate or anything you want to coat it with. And trust me, this turned out so good. Now this particular one, I didn't pinch it very well. That is why it's opened like this. That's why I said make sure you pinch very, very well, so that by the time it starts proving or rising, either outside or inside the oil, it's not going to be difficult. It's not going to open. You can see how fluffy, how beautiful this is. Try this and you will love it. See you in my next one.